All right, most of you may know Marissa Axell in California, but for those of you that don't, Marissa came to the mastermind in November 2018. She joined the Institute, and she attended her first retreat in February of 2019, and just was so fired up from that retreat that she moved to the platinum level and joined TD5 in March of 19. And it's just been a blast watching her grow this past year and a half now. You know, she presented her big five of standing up her own business, leaving a business partnership that she wasn't happy with because it wasn't her vision, turning a profitable business by the end of 2019, just her online business, just taking it to all kinds of new heights and levels. And we're going to let her update us on how all that has gone. So Marissa, I'm going to turn it over to you for that first part and go get it.
Sure. So I have to say, so I went to the February 2019 retreat, and it was like walking into a family reunion that I didn't yet belong to, but I was like, these are my people. And I'm sure all of you have experienced that at least one time with the retreat. And then the fun story, I don't think I even told Bob, was I literally got off the airplane. My husband picked me up after that trip, and I was like, hi, honey, how are you doing? I have to quit my job. And he was like, what? So, and that was the dream, like the dream was born. So I knew in February I wanted to leave that partnership, Bob. And I think you and I worked together to find, I had to like work up my gumption to have the talk. And we had the talk in April. I ended up leaving. You guys, tomorrow is happy birthday to 1 year old Action Fitness and Coaching. So I launched it a year ago tomorrow. But that's not to say I wasn't already doing coaching. I just relaunched a new brand. So, but I wanted to say I had that amazing moment this year, February 2020, on the plane to TDMM retreat in San Diego. And I completed the Trainer of the Year application on the airplane. I just didn't have time to complete it and actually turn it in. But I did it for my own records. And so after recapping what an amazing year 2019 was, I had hit all my top 5 goals for 2019, which included a master's championship in cycling, which was just like beyond my wildest dreams. I was so thrilled. But I have to say, like, earning that national championship has completely changed my mindset around like everything, including business. So I recapped what an amazing year I'd had. I finished December. I think I hadn't even looked at my financials, to be honest. And I was like counting on my fingers. And I was like, I did it. I was more than $5,000 in revenue in December. Like, what? Who is this person? So I was just on a high. I arrived at the retreat. Of course, we know it was amazing. But that reflection was like the first time I really felt like I was on the right path for service, impact, and profits. So naturally I had to figure out, how do I even top that for 2020, right? So I set some lofty goals, and then COVID hit, as we all had that issue. So you guys, my goal was to go like 100% online by the end of the year and just be like, you know, I can't do this personal training thing anymore. I've got other things to do. Well, COVID hits and everybody went online, and all of a sudden I'm 100% online. Cha-ching, you know, 1 out of my big 5 already done, right? So I have to say that COVID has given me so many gifts, and I know that it feels uncomfortable to say that, but it pushed me to learn to do stuff so quickly. So COVID made me go online, as it did all of you. The 2 best lessons from the COVID shutdown for me right now are, number 1, I can serve my clients deeply from afar, and I connected with them more than ever by phone, text, and Zoom, of course. And I kept 95% of my clients. I also gained clients. I had referrals because people were so like, oh, my friend is getting good results, or they're showing up more, so they're getting results, right? So then that was like, wow, I can do this online. And then secondly, I had clients who had left. They moved away and they were like, boo-hoo, I can't be with you anymore. Well, guess what? Now we're all together again. So I gained clients. I've been able to serve deeper because they are showing up consistently. And my PT card is full, like I was telling Bob. So I'm really grateful to be able to engage with them, which is really awesome. So the other thing I would say is, the lesson was, you can get stuff done or get shit done really fast when you need to. So I turned on that Zoom personal training and Zoom virtual service or virtual studio within 3 days of being shut down. So all of a sudden I changed my business model, right? We're all online, and I just ran with it. I also really focused on the people I have.
Mhm.
Retain. So I was showing up for happy hours with them. I was scheduling extra meetings with them. I was calling them, I was texting them. And I, like I said, kept 95% of my clients. So shutdown happened. I learned that I could pivot really fast. So
Very good.
I think that that was the biggest like aha that set me up for now. So
Yeah. No, great stuff. If you guys can't tell, she's very reserved. She's not very energetic. She keeps things on the low.
yeah, no, that's not me.
So
I
Marissa,
am who I
great
am.
share. Great intro. Stepping up to the platinum level help you take not only your professional business to another level, but the personal side of it too, where we really focus on the growth on both sides, because it was very hard for you to really put yourself out there at the start of all this, but now it's like you're at the front of it. It's come catch up with me. So
Yeah.
we've really enjoyed that. We want to get into the financial challenge you have. Why did you feel the need to do it? And what was the goal for the challenge? And did you hit it?
So with all that was going on, right? COVID happened. I went 100% online, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to challenge myself. I have joined as kind of alongside TDMM, an online business group. And so online only businesses, mostly women. And I've just been kind of learning a lot more about that along the way. And it's not fitness related, it's just business, right? So, but together in that group, we did this challenge. We were like, all right, in July, we're going to take the 14th through the 24th. And we have 10 days, which actually ended up being like 11 days because the first day isn't like day 0. So 10 days, we embarked on a challenge to bring in $10,000 cash in your hands or in your bank account. So that's not like you promised money. It's not like an IOU, or it's here. So of course that immediately terrified me. I had just told Bob like that month, I was like, Bob, I had my best month ever. June, I grew 30% from where I was in May. So I had just cleared like $6,200. Again, I'm a solopreneur. I don't have any overhead really. I'm online only. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm growing in a pandemic. That's amazing. So then I was like, $10,000 is terrifying. And it's still kind of terrifying. But we were like, okay, we're going to try and do it. So it was one of those, like, I know I can pivot. I've done it before. I did it in March when we had the COVID hit and we had to pivot quickly. So this was $10,000, 10 days. It terrified me, but it also lit a spark in me. Like I got really, really excited. So I had come off my best month and in June. So I will tell you whether I hit the goal or not after I tell you the story.
A little
Although if you follow me on social media, you know what happened. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's get into the process. So what was it like pulling it all together and getting it launched?
So I'm a business podcast junkie. So I literally, if I hear like an interesting idea of action, I wrote it down. So Frank, I have to start with you because you're 5 and 5, like you're text 5 people, call 5 people, take people to, breakfast. Like I am so all about that. So it really started there with just like 5x5 marketing plan, right? And then I sat down and I wrote down every single thing that I have ever sold or created, and I put it into a list. And I was like, could I resell any of these? Are these interesting? Do I like any of these? So look at your background, guys, of anything you've ever created in your whole life. Keep any items for me that had a 4-week or less timeline. So I'm not dumping a ton of extra time now into what I sold. So I crossed out everything else. I wanted it to truly be short term, not a long-term personal training client, for example. I wanted it to be a short term, like boom, in and out, and we're done. All right. Second was ask yourself, what do you want to do? So I had planned like to resell things that I'd already created, and I looked at it and I was like, I don't really like that. I don't want to do that. So I actually had an afternoon. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I want to do. And so in 90 minutes, literally, I wrote this from beginning to end, 4-week training group coaching program that I can deliver online. And that was it. I was like, this is what I want to do. I know I can sell this. I know that people need this. So why do I know that? Because I'm in Facebook groups listening to people who are in my people that I serve. So it's beginning cyclists, especially women. And they're asking me all these questions, and I just keep writing down those questions, like how can I pour that into an online program? So I scrapped it all together in about 90 minutes. I wrote it down, came up with a program that I was excited to put together. And I literally put out a Facebook post. If I created this, would you want it? And I had like 30 people be like, yeah, let's do it. So from there, that's your initial lead. So I followed up with them, DM them, called them, whatever, and created 4 weeks to boss up your ride program, which is starting on Monday, this Monday. So you're going to go from like a beginner to a complete badass on the bike. So going from like being scared or not knowing how to take your bike apart to like crushing it. So, and it's coming with a coaching program, which is something I already do. And then I just slapped a price tag on it, and enough to where people are like, I'm going to invest in myself. It's not a $39 program, but you're going to get group coaching. So I also came up with a couple other things I'd never done before that were really exciting. So I sold a day of Voxer. You guys, a Voxer is a walkie-talkie app on your phone. And it's 12 hours with me in your pocket to ask and create anything with me. So most often I receive requests from client or potential clients who just are like, oh, I don't want to commit to a couple months with you. Like, oh, it's a little scary. But I really want to know, like, what should I do to prepare for this training, like to train for an event that I have? And so a day of Voxer, we could work together, create a 6-month training program for them, and they go off and do it. So the idea is whatever goal they're bringing to the table, I'm going to help them achieve it within that 12 hours. So we're just going to message back and forth, talk back and forth. They have me for 12 hours and then it's over. So I sold that for $199, and I sold one, but I'm excited to sell more because there's a need. Like there's people who are like, yeah, I really want to do it. I just don't know when. So I created these 2 things out of thin air, and because I saw there was a need, and I just got really excited about selling them. And then the last thing I did, which was another teammate, a friend of mine in this other group, was like, oh, you know, you have monthly memberships. Like, why don't you just ask a couple of them to upgrade to become a member for a year? So that was an easy way for me to ask clients to, why not become a yearly member? So I sweetened the deal. I tacked on an extra month for them outside of their membership. So it's gonna be 13 months for the price of 12, but they threw down, 3 of my clients threw down $2,400, and they're like, boom, done. So that one though, to me, you guys, was the biggest, because obviously it's the most dollars and it's turning your monthly into a yearly revenue, but it was like, hello, your clients love you. They want to buy more from you, and they want to buy more often. So it was a big wake-up call to me to be like, I need to create more so I can serve them deeper so they can buy more from me. Like, they already love me. They already like working with me. Why not give them more? So I am currently now turning my focus to that so that I can kind of re-up another challenge like this. But it was such easy money, you guys. And like when you're going, you're struggling, you're like, my numbers are down or whatever. It was literally 1 email and 4 follow-up emails that I had scheduled. And that was it. The money just was there. So yes, it happened. It all happened within mostly the last 2 days, because the day 8, actually, I wanted to tell you really quickly, I had a meltdown, and I am not always this chipper and cheery. So day 8, I had the meltdown that every entrepreneur has. So you're like, nobody likes me. Nobody wants to buy anything from me. I hate emailing. I hate everybody. Everything sucks. So I actually reached out for help on a Facebook group. I asked for team help. I just was like, you guys, I know that everybody goes through these low points, but I need you to boss me around to make sure I still do this, because I just want to go hide in my bed and pull the covers up. Like, I hate this. So that was day 8. I was like, I'm over it. I don't want to do it. I was sitting at like $6,000, and I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. This sucks. It's uncomfortable. So day 9 and day 10 statistically is where most of your dollars come in when you're doing a challenge, which I knew in my head, but I didn't feel that in my body until day 8, when I was like, I'm not going to make it and I'm going to fail. So in addition to what I just explained, what I sold, my regular membership money was coming in. So I have members that I'm coaching monthly, and their regular dollars were coming in. My personal training members, regular dollars were coming in. So all of that, but put into the pot by the end of the 10 days was, I think I ended up with a $10,700. So how did I do it? Besides Frank's got me started with his 5x5. I email my list every day, or every other day, sorry. I emailed my current clients with the offer 5 times. I went live on Facebook or Instagram every single day. I posted to Facebook and Instagram every single day about what I do, or about how they can work with me, or about an industry topic that is interesting to the people that I serve. And then I did what I call the Facebook juicing technique, which helps me get outside of my regular Facebook circle. So if you guys don't already, get into some Facebook groups that you know are where your people hang out in. Maybe it's a local area. For me, it's women's cycling group. There's a few different ones. So what I'll do is like all the posts that I can find. I'll ask questions on the posts, and that juices the Facebook algorithm to put me in front of them more often. So, and then if they respond, I might friend them so that we can have a conversation over DM if it gets to that. So that is kind of a really important, if you're going to be working online more, is helping to get in front of more people who you want to be in front of. And then if you're in front of them, you're going to get in front of their friends who might be similar to like the clients that you want to work with. So Facebook juicing every single day. Spearfish, that's kind of like email people that you know you can help, who maybe have asked you for help in the past and you haven't heard from them in a while. So you're just sending them direct emails, kind of along the lines of what Frank talks about with like reaching out to people you haven't heard from. So spearfishing and asking like, I got this program, I know you need it, let's sign up. Emailed my personal network, and you guys, to me, that was the most terrifying. And it's just mind trash, it's stupid. I know that my friends and family want to support me in my head, but when I email and like ask for their support to like, hey, give this to your networks, or hey, support me, it's scary. So I had to fight a lot of like preconceived crap in my head. But I emailed my personal network 2 times to talk about me, my business, my challenge, please support me. And my lesson was update your personal network quarterly, because I missed a lot of people, and a lot of people's emails bounced. That's not good. So anyway, so that's how that ended up. I had the overflowing head trash, but then day 9 and 10, I was just like, I know how to do this. And I'll tell you, this is what happened. So Bob, remember when I said I had won that big important race last year about this time in August? I won a national championship on the track. I was like, wow. So I took from that, like I showed up, I sacrificed to train for that race. I drove a ton, I rode my bike a ton. I went through a lot of challenge, right? But I knew that I wanted to get to the start line of that race and say I'd physically done everything in my power to win. So that it was in, let the cards fall as they will, right? But I knew that I had confidence. I didn't skip a day. I didn't mess up my nutrition. Like I was there, I was all in. So I was like, I know how to do that. I know how to do that now. So I have never done this before, but I applied that to my business, right? So day 9, I'm like, I know how to win. If I like show up and say and literally do everything that I know how to do, I'm going to show up on day 10, toe the start line, let the chips fall as they may. So literally on day 10, I'm out on a bike ride, saying goodbye to a client who's moving. The 10th chip fell into place, and I went over that $10,000 mark out while I was on a bike ride. So that was how it happened.
Amazing. Great
It was
story.
crazy.
Take a breath.
It was crazy. Yeah.
All these steps that you described and took, did any of these, were they part of the original plan, or did you make pivots from something else that you had lined up to come back to, the head trash on day 8 that was coming in, and but being able to pull in experience from your own personal training for your sport to be able to bring that in for training for your business. So other than just the head trash on 8, anything else change?
Well, I would say I feel like, because I'm, again, that podcast junkie, I was collecting ideas as we went through, and also sharing ideas with other people in my Facebook group, the business group. So I would say I just added like things that I could do. So for example, the day of Voxer, I came up with because I saw somebody else sell one, and I was like, dang, that's awesome. So I pitched it on like day 6. And I'd also come out with like a VIP day, but I decided actually that I was more comfortable selling a Voxer day. So going forward, I would say like I had planned to try to sell a VIP day, which would be like, an 8-hour day of training with me on whatever you want. mostly cycling related, nutrition related, personal training related sort of things. But I feel like at that point, I didn't feel like I really wanted to do it. And I felt really uncomfortable asking for what I feel like it's worth, which was like, $1,500 for a day. And I was like, I don't think anybody in my network is really excited about doing that right now. So I made the decision because if you're not convinced, you're not gonna be able to sell it. So I was convinced that I could sell the Boxer Day. So that's the one I came up with more last minute. Other pivots, no, I think that I let myself off the hook a little bit. I didn't do a Facebook Live or Instagram Live on the weekend. Okay. I was just kind of over it, but I got right back on it on Monday. So have some grace with yourself a little bit, even when you're in the midst of like trying to go for a really big challenge. I kind of wish I would have done the live, but I also was so exhausted that I'm glad that I took the break.
Yeah, recognizing that maybe your energy wasn't all there for that, and stating, give yourself some grace. So I think that's good on your part, because you want to be all in when you're presenting that to them as well. You don't want to be kind of half in, half out.
Yeah, because they can tell.
They can feel it.
Yeah.
They feel it, especially those that know you and know your energy already.
Yeah, if you choke over saying $1,500, you're like, oh, never mind.
Going back to what I said earlier about you being really reluctant and dragging your feet and saying, no, I can't do this, getting in front of stuff from, through all, I would say a lot of 2019, even the start of this year, and watching that change after the first quarter, of this year. What kind of lessons did you learn through this whole process? Not just necessarily this 10 days, but this quarter too. You talked about COVID, the shutdown, and making some changes in what you didn't think you could do online that you have been able to do. So what are some lessons learned that you can share with the group here?
Well, lessons learned. Number one, do not get into other people's pockets. So don't tell them how to spend their money. Don't decide in your head that they aren't going to buy from you. Instead, offer something and ask for the business. And that was the hugest lesson for me. I realized I hardly ever asked people for business. I would just be like, this is what I do. This is what I do. I never asked them if they wanted to hire me, right? And then they're like, okay, that's cool, and they move on. So ask for the business. Do not be sad, or don't be scared to ask for business. Your clients love what you do, which I had said before. They love buying from you. So make stuff that you can sell them. That was the biggest aha moment for me. Offer whatever it is and let them decide if they want to buy it. I was blown away at how much money my current clients wanted to spend with me, even though they're already spending with me. I would say lesson 2 was update your personal network emails. Like I said, mine were really old. A lot of them bounced. It was embarrassing. And a lot of people didn't get the email because I haven't updated my personal network email list at all. I'm really good at staying on top of business, but when it comes to personal stuff, you guys, those people matter a lot too. They want to see you succeed. So giving your cheerleaders a chance to cheer for you by getting them involved is really important. And I think that is like a bigger, it translates to kind of like the universe. The universe will provide. If it sees that you're doing as much as you can and you've got all this momentum, it's gonna come back to you. So, but I would say, again, this was by far the scariest for me, was emailing my personal network. It's so dumb. Like, now that I'm on the other side of it, I was like, why? But it's scary. Ask for help whenever you need help. And this can be the hardest part, right? Everybody, like, you're an entrepreneur, you know what you're doing. And there's just days where you want to lay in bed and pull the covers up. So ask for help from your teams. So that is probably for me the second scariest. And it's not really even that scary. It's like, I just don't think about it, right? And then Bob will be like, why didn't you ask for help? I was like, I don't know. So it's hard to be vulnerable, probably, and admit that you need help. So being vulnerable, however, I believe was the key for me to push that goal over the finish line. Asking for help was the push that helped me over that mountain. Momentum is everything. So that sales list and marketing items, I did those things every day. So I was busy. It's busy work, right? And you learn what you're good at and what you're not good at. And if you know that you're terrible at it, consider hiring it out next time. But I had explained how I created a virtual studio within a couple of days when the shutdown happened. That was like, this was like a 10-day version of that, of just action, 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 ask. sell, follow up, follow up, follow up. I've never, I'll repeat it again, I have never worked that hard on sales in my business in my life. And it was very eye-opening. If you work, the results will come. They're not going to wait around for you to ask for the business, right? So it's like, ask for the business and keep going. And
Cool.
yeah, the serious mindset shift away from selling. You're offering your ability to help people, right? And if they don't want it, they don't want it. That's fine. I wasn't like, I can't believe you're not buying from me. But it's more like, ask for the opportunity to serve them. And if they're in the market, then go for it. And you know what? If they're like, I want to, but I don't want to commit, find something they can do, like a day of Voxer.
A day of Voxer. Yeah,
or, you know, a 2-hour consult with you or something. Because then they're like, oh, I can afford that, or I, you know, time wise or commitment wise or money wise. So ask if they know anyone who needs your help. That's another thing that you should always be doing is, great, thank you so much. I'm sorry we can't work together now, but if you know of anyone, let me know. And I've been getting, now that it's all over, I've been getting a ton of referrals from people randomly. And I'll say, like, one was a Facebook message from a woman who knows a woman that I know. And another one is from a brick and mortar, a cafe that's a cycling cafe in Oakland. And they're referring people to me. So you just don't know how you're going to influence people. But the thing I learned from this group that I've been talking to is people are always watching. Even if they're not liking your stuff or they're not commenting, they are watching.
Yeah, very good. Great share, Marissa. I knew this wasn't going to take very long. I didn't want to tie you guys Friday up that long, but we were looking for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You said something great that we've had come out in our retreats and we talked about on our calls as well, as, you know, do what you do best and hire out the rest. And I know you've made some big gains just in the last, this part of this month when you hired a virtual assistant. That's another story for another time though, right?
Yeah. It was definitely scary, but like literally 10 minutes later after I was like, yes, let's do it. And then she's like delivering all this stuff. And I was like, why didn't I do this a year ago? This is amazing.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for this share. It's just been a joy watching this month with you. But like I told you before, just watching you grow in the past year and a half now as a platinum member has been great. We've had some questions come through. Megan was tracking some questions for us. I'm gonna let her ping those to you, and you can respond to some of the folks here.
How much did you charge for your 4-week program? And how many hours are you spending packaging online with clients and other tasks that pertain to the program?
Sure. So I priced it at $4.99. And it's kind of right in the middle of that sweet spot of like, oh, damn, like that's an investment. But also, what am I going to get? So it is priced not on my hours necessarily. I'll tell you what I've done for sure. But think about pricing as the transformation that your client is going to get. So to me, if it's a $97 class, they're going to pay for it and maybe forget about it. Like we talk about, you buy programs that go to die on your hard drive. So I want somebody who's like, I want to invest in myself to get this skill. And yeah, you're only going to need to probably sell a handful to make it worth your time. But then also you're only going to attract the clients who are willing to invest in themselves. So I talk a lot about that in my social media, investing in yourselves. And I talked also about pricing. That was one of my days, was like, you know, women are constantly undervaluing themselves because in general, we're only paid like 80 cents on the dollar to a man, like in a 9 to 5 to a man's dollar. So like, we're just conditioned to that. So like when you're thinking about investing in a coach, like that's why, you know, you want to invest good, solid dollars, is because you're supporting a woman coach in her community. So it just went on and on and on, but pricing for the transformation that you're giving, not trading your hours for dollars. So then secondly, yeah, it's been a ton of work. I was just telling Bob, I have been, excuse the phrase, balls to the wall this whole week, Monday through Friday. Like, I can't even believe it's Friday. But my VA graphics person is phenomenal. So she has literally done everything. All I've done is write the copy for all of my workbooks, copy and videoed my videos that are the training portion. I created my 4-week training plan for them and created a video. So I've just been creating videos and copy and writing programs. So I'd say all in all, I've probably devoted about 20 hours into this 4-week project. And that can be, I mean, not counting selling, but like physical stuff. And that can be, but once it's done, guys, it's evergreen. You can open it and close it whenever you want. You can make money on it over and over again. With that, my VA, my woman, her name's Rachel. So Rachel's created a member site. So it's password protected on my website. So once they get everything together and we open it, they're going to go to a member dashboard. It'll have all the trainings. It's really pro, like the most pro thing I've ever done. And so I'm really grateful that I have such a great graphics and VA person. She does websites as well. So I found a woman who's like, she does websites, workbooks, video trainings, and she's honestly even like managing me. She's like, if this is your first time through this, like, don't you want this? And I was like, yes, I do. So she's just been like rocking my world. And I can't believe, Bob, that you were like egging me on, but it took me so long to hire someone because I am a way better business now that I have her than I was before.
Very good. What do you got next, Megan?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted, Megan.
Leslie was wondering if you could review your membership details.
Membership, can we membership for, I have a few. I have a coaching membership and then I have personal training.
Oh, okay. When you described it back to us, you just kind of mentioned you have an ongoing membership.
Yes. So that is with my coaching clients and I call my personal training clients also a membership. So anybody who I'm charging month to month. So I don't do packages. I do monthly memberships. So if you're coaching with me online with cycling, our first month, so I have 3 tiers of membership packages. That's how I've priced it. So I have a team membership, which is a $99 a month membership, and it's very basic. I usually steer people, especially if they're new, away from that because it's, I need to spend more time with them than what that offers. The second tier is called the Pro membership, and it's $199 a month, and that's where most of my clients reside. And I spend time with them. I give them 2 one-hour coaching calls a month. I give them their custom 4-week or monthly training program. And then when there's actually events happening, we review the events, right? We train them for the event, they do the event, then we review the event. But there's no events happening right now. So what I've been doing with my coaching clients in this time is we're creating individual events that excite them. So some people are doing Everest challenges, some people are picking out a specific area and trying to ride it the fastest they've ever done it, just kind of being creative like that. But all told, if somebody's gonna like opt into my coaching, they're inside my coaching membership. Oh, and then there's one more tier, sorry, it's the $250 a month, and it just comes with more one-on-one time. So it's an extra hour of time to hold their hand if they need it, and extra logistics planning if they need it, that sort of thing. And I only have 1 client doing that right now, but I do have more clients opting into that higher frame when there is more going on.
Very good. Megan, did you have something else that came through the chat?
Nope.
That was it?
That's it.
Frank, you had unmuted. Did you want to ask Marissa something as well?
Well, actually, just a real quick comment, Marissa, because I think that this is, you touched on an important lesson, I think, that is applicable to everybody. And without explicitly saying this, it was an aha for you, but I want to make sure that the message isn't lost on everybody else. And I want everybody to write this down. You need to respect your time. You need to respect your profession. You need to respect your money. Respect your time, your profession, your money. Don't give any of them away. You see, professionals, for years, you always used to say, what's the difference between an amateur athlete and a professional athlete? Well, the professionals get paid. Well, it's really applicable to everything. It's not just athletics. Professionals get paid, amateurs give it away. And the truth is, and the hard truth, the uncomfortable truth, for many fitness trainers, they act like amateurs. Let me give you an example. You go to a party and somebody says, Leslie, what is it that you do? And Leslie says, oh, I'm a fitness coach. And then the client inevitably says, or the person says, oh, well, let me ask you something. Like, how do I get rid of this? Or what can I do to tone that? And Leslie starts going like, well, you got to work on your nutrition, and you got to do cardio, but not too much because the cortisol, and maybe some high intensity interval training. Resistance training is important. You want to make sure 3 or 4 days a week, but you want to make sure that you're getting good nutrition and protein. You're giving it away. You're giving it away. Let me give you another example. Let's take a doctor. Doctor shows up at a party, and somebody says, so what do you do? It's Dr. Frank. Somebody says to Dr. Frank, so what do you do? I said, well, I'm a doctor. They say, let me ask you something. I've got this pain every time in my shoulder I do this. What do you think it is? Well, Dr. Frank doesn't say, well, let's take the shirt off and let's take a look at it. He says, I'll tell you what, here's my number. Why don't you call my office on Monday, make an appointment, and I'd love to take a look at that. Be a professional as a fitness coach. Somebody asks what you do, you tell them. And when somebody asks a question about how to get rid of this or how to tone up that, you say, you know what, Marissa? That's actually what I do, and I'd love to discuss that. Why don't you give me a call on Monday? Let's schedule an orientation. I'd love the opportunity to work with you. Now, you might think that that's being rude, but what you're really doing is you're respecting your time, you're respecting your profession, you're respecting your money. And that compound approach over time is going to lead to better clients, because you're certainly going to have a much better respect for what it is that you do. So thumbs up if that makes sense.
Very good. Yep.
The other thing I would just touch on real quick is it's the whole reason for the mastermind. Is a mastermind is only as good as what people contribute. Yes, the mastermind is an opportunity to come and say, for Jackie to say, hey guys, listen, I'm not sure between either the Life Fitness or the Cybex treadmill. Can somebody give me some insights? Or, hey, I'm thinking about the medicine balls from Precor or the medicine balls who perform better. Any feedback on them? So yes, it's an opportunity for people to make your business a little bit easier because they've maybe perhaps made some mistakes. But it's also an obligation. It's an obligation when things go well or things go wrong for you to show up and share that, so everybody else succeeds. So Marissa, I just want to say thank you for being a great teammate, and Bob, thanks for being a great coach and recording this, because somebody else on one of the other teams is going to be scratching their head saying like, God, I'm just uncomfortable. Is it really going to work? And how long will it take? And what should I do? And where can I go? And what you've really done, Marissa, and I don't want to oversimplify it, but you got really comfortable with your expertise. You looked at what you're capable of doing, and then you said, how do I package and commoditize this?
Exactly.
And everybody has a unique set of skills that they could certainly commoditize better than they are. So thank you for sharing what you've done, because it's going to hopefully shine a light for other people that there's hope for them as well.
Well, and I think too, like it's so, like right now it's so challenging with, are we opening, are we closing, what's going on? And like there's tremendous opportunity to take your brick and mortar to like to an online space where you can offer a couple of packages that get you excited. And that's the other thing I learned a lot about was sell what you want to sell. Don't think like what you should do, what your buddy down the street is doing. What is your gift or your strength, and play into that, because it's going to show and you're going to deliver better results because you're willing to put in the work because you love doing it. I always think of it like this, like, what do I love to give away for free? And then how can I package it, right? Because like that way I know that I'm going to work extra hard to make it amazing. So I challenge all of you guys to like come up with one extra idea, sell it to your friends,
But you make some great points. Like Frank said, start narrowing it down to what you are the expert in your area and really blow that up big time, which is what you've done. You had some other side stuff you had going on, and your heart was into some of these other things, but your money was where your money was going to come from was where your true passion was at. And you've slowly been doing that, but now you're there. So great.
Starting.
Yeah, great share. When she announced this and she hit it, I just, Frank, and that's why I came to you guys as well, and you brought it up as well. We got to share this with the rest of the mastermind. Exactly. Successes get shared, failures get shared as well, and that's where we circle the wagons around each other and help people through some tough times. So thanks again, Marissa. And where can folks get in touch with you at?
Oh yeah, well, of course I'm on Facebook. I'm in the group, of course. Instagram at Axell Rocks. You're welcome, Jackie. At Axell Rocks or at AXN Fit Coach is on Instagram. I'm in all the DMs, all the places. And yeah, TD5. Woohoo! Team Ignite.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. As soon as this recording loads, I'll get this up on the Facebook page, Frank.
Awesome.
All right,
Great
guys.
job, guys. Do better.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks, Marissa. Thanks, Bob. Thanks,
Have a
Frank.